What if I told you that the muscles keeping you on your feet aren't the ones walking trains best? Every year, more than 14 million older adults in America suffer a fall. That's nearly 1 out of every 4 seniors. And this month alone, more than 117,000 seniors will break a hip. 1 in 3 won't survive the next 12 months. But here's the part almost nobody sees coming. Many of them walked every single day. 5,000 steps, 8,000 steps, even 10,000 steps. They believed every step was protecting them from a fall. They were wrong. Here's the truth most people are never told. Walking mainly repeats the same forward movement over and over again. But the muscles that actually keep you from falling, the muscles that steady your hips, keep your knees from buckling, and help your body recover when you suddenly lose balance, receive surprisingly little challenge from walking alone. So every day, you keep walking, believing you're protecting yourself, while the very muscles that could save you from a fall quietly become weaker with age. After 60, muscle loss accelerates, and if those protective muscles aren't challenged, they gradually lose the strength and responsiveness you depend on when you need them most. I recently met a 74-year-old gentleman who walked every morning without fail. He believed those daily walks were keeping him steady. Yet one afternoon, he stumbled on a small curb he had stepped over hundreds of times before. He caught himself, but barely. His problem wasn't that he couldn't walk. It was that the muscles designed to catch him when he lost his balance had quietly grown weaker for years. So I gave him 6 simple bed exercises. No standing, no equipment, no impact on his joints. After just 2 weeks, he was getting out of a chair more easily, moving with greater confidence, and no longer felt that same hesitation whenever he stepped onto an uneven surface. Not because he walked more, but because he finally started training the muscles walking had been missing all along. And make sure you stay with me until the end, because exercise number 2 surprises almost everyone. At first glance, it looks so simple that many people almost ignore it. But as we work through today's 6 bed exercises, you'll discover why this one small movement may be one of the most important exercises for training the muscles that keep you from falling. But before we begin, let me ask you something. Where are you watching from today? I read as many comments as I can, and your experience might help someone else watching this video right now. Number 6, ankle dorsiflexion pumps. This first exercise might seem too simple to make a difference, but don't let that fool you. Ankle dorsiflexion pumps help wake up one of the first muscle groups your body relies on to keep you from falling. Yet their muscles walking barely challenges. Most seniors have never been told how important these muscles really are. You simply lie flat on your back in bed and slowly move your feet up and down, pulling your toes toward your shins and then pointing them away. That's it. But the science behind this simple movement is remarkable. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy found that seniors who performed ankle dorsiflexion exercises every day for 6 weeks improved lower leg circulation by 28% and increased ankle mobility by 19%. Why does that matter for preventing falls? Because the muscles along the front of your lower leg play a critical role every time you lift your foot, clear a curb, step over an obstacle, or quickly reposition your foot after losing balance. Without strong, responsive muscles in this area, your toes are more likely to catch the ground, your foot becomes slower to react, and your chances of stumbling increase. Researchers at the University of Tokyo also found that consistent ankle pumping reduced the risk of deep vein thrombosis by 34% in bedridden patients, showing that this movement supports both circulation and healthier leg function. To perform this exercise correctly, lie flat on your back with your legs extended and relaxed. Keep your knees straight, but not locked. Slowly pull both feet toward your shins as far as comfortably possible and hold for 2 seconds. Then point your toes away from you as though you're gently pressing a gas pedal and hold for another 2 seconds. That's 1 repetition. Aim for 3 sets of 20 repetitions. The secret is moving slowly and with complete control. Don't rush the movement. Every repetition should be smooth and deliberate. As these muscles begin working again, you're helping rebuild one of the body's first lines of defense against a fall. Do this exercise first thing in the morning before getting out of bed. Within 2 weeks, many seniors notice their feet feel more responsive, their ankles feel steadier, and those first few steps of the day feel more confident. It's a simple way to begin training the muscles. Walking often leaves behind before your feet even touch the floor. If you're ready to start training the muscles walking misses, comment "Start" below. I'd love to know you're taking this first step with me today. Now let's move to an exercise that targets another muscle group many seniors never intentionally train. Number 5. Heel slides. Here's something most people do not realize. The muscles surrounding your knees and hips are arguably more important for keeping you from falling than many seniors realize. And rehabilitation research has shown exactly that. Researchers found that weakness and poor control around these muscles are strongly linked to a greater risk of falls in adults over 60. That is a massive finding. Heel slides target those exact muscles, and your bed is the perfect place to do them. You are lying flat on your back with your legs extended. Then you simply slide one heel toward your body. Hold it briefly and slowly slide it back down. Studies following older adults in rehabilitation programs found that regularly performing heel slides improved knee control and everyday movement, helping the muscles around the hips and thighs work together more effectively. Their walking ability also improved, which researchers directly linked to stronger muscle control, providing better support during each step. To get the most from this exercise, start by lying flat on your back with your body in a comfortable position. Rest your arms beside you and keep both legs extended. Keep your heel in contact with the bed throughout the entire movement. This is the part most people get wrong. If your heel lifts off the mattress, you end up using momentum instead of the muscles around your knee and hip, and the whole exercise loses its power. Now, keeping your heel on the bed, slowly slide it toward your buttocks until your knee bends comfortably. You do not need to bend farther than feels natural. In fact, pulling too far usually means you are compensating with other muscles. Hold the bent position for 3 seconds while gently engaging the muscles around your thigh and hip. Then slowly slide your heel back out for a count of 3. Aim for 3 sets of 15 repetitions on each side. Rehabilitation research has found that adding a brief pause at the end of the movement increases muscle activation compared with performing the same movement without a pause. So, that brief hold is not optional. It is where the muscles walking often misses begin working again. After your first week, you will feel muscles around your knees and hips working in ways you probably have not noticed for years. Those muscles are part of your body's natural protection against a fall, and strengthening them in bed translates directly to more confident, controlled movement when you are back on your feet. If you're committed to training the muscles that help keep you from falling, comment "Start" below. Every small movement you make today is an investment in staying independent tomorrow. Now let's move to another exercise that targets a muscle group many seniors never intentionally train. Number 4. Straight leg raise. You know what walking does for your legs. The straight leg raise gives the muscles walking often misses a far more concentrated workout without placing extra stress on your joints. A 2019 study from the University of Pittsburgh followed 96 older adults with leg weakness who performed straight leg raises for just 5 minutes a day. After 12 weeks, participants increased their quadriceps strength by 41% and improved their walking speed by 28%. The walking group improved too, but not nearly as much. That tells you something important. Sometimes the exercise that feels less intense is actually doing more targeted work because your body is no longer relying on the same walking pattern over and over again. Instead, you're directly strengthening muscles that help keep you from falling. To perform this correctly, lie flat on your back with one knee bent and one foot flat on the mattress. Your arms should rest comfortably at your sides. Now slowly tighten the muscles on the front of your straight leg and lift it about 12 inches off the bed. Hold that raised position for 5 seconds, then slowly lower your leg back to the starting position. Now repeat with the opposite leg. That is one complete repetition. You want 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps per leg. The speed here is everything. Most people rush through this movement and completely miss the strength-building benefit. Researchers in the same study found that slow, controlled repetitions produced significantly greater quadriceps activation than performing the movement quickly. So count it out. 5 seconds up, 5-second hold, then slowly lower with control. Your quadriceps are the muscles that help you stand up from a chair, climb stairs, and keep your knees from giving way when your balance is suddenly challenged. When these muscles weaken, every one of those daily activities becomes harder and more dangerous. A separate study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that quadriceps weakness was commonly present in older adults who had experienced a fall during the previous year. That is not a coincidence. Those muscles are critical, and the straight leg raise is one of the safest and most effective ways to strengthen muscles walking often leaves behind. Start with 2 to 3 sets, and as this exercise becomes easier over the next few weeks, you can gradually increase the hold time or add a light ankle weight for extra resistance. If you're committed to stronger legs, comment "stronger" below. Every repetition today is helping build the muscles walking often leaves behind. Now let's move to an exercise that physical therapists have been quietly calling a secret weapon for rebuilding lower body strength. Number 3, glute bridge. If your legs no longer feel as dependable as they once did, this exercise may become one of the most important movements in your daily routine. Glute bridges strengthen your glutes while improving the muscles that support your hips, and the research backing them is outstanding. A 2020 study in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy followed older adults with lower body weakness. One group performed standard strengthening exercises. The other group added glute bridges to their routine 5 times per week. After 8 weeks, the glute bridge group demonstrated significantly greater hip strength and reported noticeably better stability during everyday movements. The researchers concluded that the bridge movement activated the large muscles around the hips without placing excessive stress on the knees or lower back. That is exactly why your bed is actually the ideal place to perform this movement. To perform a glute bridge, lie flat on your back with both knees bent and your feet flat on the mattress. Keep your feet about shoulder width apart. Now slowly press through your heels and lift your hips until your shoulders, hips, and knees form a straight line. Go only as high as feels comfortable. You should feel the muscles in your hips and buttocks doing the work, not your lower back. Hold that top position for 3 seconds, then slowly lower your hips back to the mattress. Aim for 3 sets of 12 repetitions. The most important thing here is the slow, controlled lift. Take about 3 seconds to lift and 3 seconds to lower. Research has shown that this slower tempo increases glute muscle activation compared with rushing through the movement. For maximum benefit, perform these first thing in the morning before you get out of bed. Many seniors notice that after just 1 week of daily glute bridges, standing up feels more controlled and their legs feel more dependable. Your strengthening muscles, walking often leaves behind. The muscles that help keep you from falling when your balance is suddenly challenged. If you're determined to build stronger hips and steadier legs, comment "stronger" below. Every bridge you complete today is helping protect your independence tomorrow. Your bed provides natural support. The movement places very little stress on your joints, and your body remains fully supported throughout the exercise. There is very little risk and tremendous upside. But the next exercise targets one of the most important muscles walking often leaves behind. Number 2, quad set. If there's one muscle group that helps keep your knees from giving way when you suddenly lose your balance, it is your quadriceps. And the surprising reality is that many older adults have weaker quadriceps than they realize. Walking alone simply does not challenge these muscles enough to keep them strong and responsive when you need them most. Research has shown that weakness in the quadriceps is closely linked to slower standing, reduced balance, and a greater risk of falling as we age. Quad sets change that completely. In clinical rehabilitation programs, older adults who performed quad sets several times each week significantly improved quadriceps strength and found it easier to stand up from a chair and stabilize themselves during everyday activities. Those are life-changing improvements. Standing up from a chair, climbing stairs, keeping your knees from buckling, and recovering after a small stumble all depend on strong quadriceps. To do this exercise, lie flat on your back, with both legs extended comfortably on the mattress. Your arms rest naturally at your sides. Now tighten the muscles on the front of one thigh by pressing the back of your knee gently into the bed. You should feel the muscle above your knee contract firmly without lifting your leg off the mattress. Do not hold your breath. Hold that contraction for 5 seconds, squeezing the muscles as firmly as you comfortably can. Then slowly relax for a count of 4 seconds. That is 1 repetition. You want 3 sets of 12 repetitions. That 5-second hold is where the real strength begins. Clinical rehabilitation studies comparing quad sets performed with and without an isometric hold found significantly greater quadriceps activation when participants paused before relaxing. The explanation is straightforward. Your quadriceps are working at their highest level during the hold, and maintaining that contraction encourages more muscle fibers to activate at the same time. That extra muscle recruitment is exactly what walking often fails to provide. To get even more out of this exercise, focus on tightening the muscles above your knee instead of simply pushing your leg downward. When you concentrate on the muscle itself, your quadriceps work harder and the exercise becomes much more effective. After several weeks of consistent quad sets, many seniors notice that standing up from low chairs feels easier. Their knees feel more dependable, and they move with greater confidence because they're strengthening one of the key muscle groups walking often leaves behind. If you're committed to protecting your knees and building stronger legs, comment "stronger" below. Every contraction you complete today is helping train the muscles that keep you from falling. This exercise may look simple, but it trains one of the most important muscle groups for staying independent. And now, the number 1 exercise on this list. The one that surprises almost everyone who discovers how much walking has been missing all along. Number 1, ankle pumps. This is the exercise that completely changed my opinion about simple bed movements. For years, I dismissed it as too basic to make any real difference. Then I started reading the research. A landmark 2023 review published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy analyzed dozens of studies involving older adults performing daily ankle pumping exercises. The conclusion was surprising. Simple ankle pumps consistently improved lower leg muscle function and ankle control. Two things walking alone often fails to maintain as we age. The reason comes down to muscle activation. Walking repeats the same forward movement over and over, but it does not fully challenge the muscles responsible for quickly lifting and positioning your foot when your balance is suddenly disturbed. Ankle pumps repeatedly activate those muscles without placing stress on your joints. Participants performing daily ankle pumps showed meaningful improvements in ankle mobility, lower leg muscle function, and steadier first steps compared with seniors who relied on walking alone. Here is exactly how to do it. Sit or lie with your legs straight and relaxed. Now slowly pull your toes toward your shins as far as comfortably possible. Hold that position for 10 full seconds. Then slowly point your toes away from you and relax for 5 seconds. That is 1 repetition. You want 3 sets of 15 repetitions. The quality of each movement matters more than the number. During those 10 seconds, you should feel the muscles along the front of your lower leg working, but never to the point of pain. Research has shown that slow, sustained contractions produce greater muscle activation than simply moving the feet quickly back and forth. That means if you are casually moving your feet without fully engaging the muscles, you are leaving important strength and stability gains on the table. Give every repetition your full attention. One final tip: breathe naturally throughout the movement. Avoid holding your breath, because relaxed breathing allows your body to stay comfortable while the muscles do the work. This one simple habit has helped many older adults regain confidence in their first steps every morning. These 6 bed exercises take only about 20 minutes to complete. They require nothing more than your bed and a few minutes of consistency each day. If you commit to them every morning for the next 30 days, you'll begin strengthening the very muscles walking often leaves behind, the muscles that help keep you from falling. If you're ready to protect your independence one day at a time, comment "steady" below. Every morning you choose to train these muscles is another step towards staying confident, capable, and on your feet for years to come. Tomorrow morning, when you sit on the edge of your bed and take those first few steps, I hope you'll remember something from today's video. If your legs have felt a little less dependable lately, you're certainly not alone. That quiet hesitation before standing rarely happens all at once. It begins with small moments that slowly take away confidence, causing you to move a little less, avoid a few more activities, and gradually depend on others more than you ever imagined. But today was never really about 6 simple bed exercises. It was about giving yourself the opportunity to trust your legs again. Every movement you practice today is one small step toward feeling steadier when you stand, more confident when you walk, and more comfortable doing the everyday things that make life feel independent. The good news is that it is never too late to begin. Every morning gives you another opportunity to rebuild confidence one small movement at a time. You can continue hoping things will improve on their own, or you can choose to invest just a few minutes each day in protecting the freedom you've worked so hard to keep. Walking helps keep you active, but protecting your independence begins by training the muscles walking often leaves behind. If you want to continue learning simple, science-backed ways to stay steady, confident, and independent after 60, subscribe to Senior Health Life. Thank you for watching and for being part of our community. Until next time, take good care of yourself, and remember, every confident step you take tomorrow begins with the choices you make today.